Good morning. Well, it's morning here in Vietnam. I just wanted to remind people of why I'm doing this. Basically, I'm doing this for Brian House Children's Hospice in Blackpool. Why am I doing it? Well, because Brian House, these are just rough figures, they need £1.6 million a year to stay open. They get £250,000, something like that, off the government. It's a pittance. And this is for children. This is for children with terminal illnesses. It's for children with life-shortening illnesses and for their parents. And our government would rather spend money on climate change. They'd rather spend money sending money abroad to countries that don't need it, spend money on hotels for people, than looking after our own. And Brian House, they have to rely on people like myself to raise money, to keep it open, because if people didn't raise money, it would close. And what would the people do then? And they say, well, why am I doing it? Because this is a very extreme thing to do that I'm doing. Yeah, it is extreme. But when I did the drag show in September, and I took the buckets up and the money and all the rest of it, and I was in Brian House, and the staff are just, they're angels. You can't say anything else apart from that. They're absolute angels. And there was a little lad. He must have been about 7 or 8, and he was sat in I can only describe it as a Stephen Hawking's wheelchair. That's not meant to be funny in any way, shape or form, but that's the only way I can describe it. It was a big wheelchair, being spoon-fed. And I thought, it really got to me. And then when I was leaving, there was a little girl coming in. She must have been about 5 or 6 in a Winnie the Pooh dressing gown. And she had a big smile on her face because she was going to a happy place. The parents, on the other hand, the look of worry and stress and anxiety on those parents' faces, it was just, it really was, it was heartbreaking. And I was thinking, God forbid if ever I was in that position, how on earth would I cope? And these people, these parents and these children, it's Brian House that helped them to cope. And they need as much money as possible. So that's the reason I'm doing this. And I was doing a podcast last night for somebody. And we came to the conclusion that, what I'm doing now, every day I have to make decisions, the same as those parents. Every day there's an obstacle in my way, the same as those parents. Every single day. And I'm just travelling. My decisions and the position that I'm in is nowhere near those parents. But what I'm saying is those parents every day have shit decisions to make. And it's just heartbreaking. They just need as much money as possible. I'm rambling on and I'm sorry. But every day they've just got obstacles, they've got problems, they've got decisions to make. It must be horrendous for those parents. And Brian House are there to help. So, the reason I'm doing it this way as well is so that it's important for people who are watching this is to subscribe to the YouTube channel and to like and to comment, because that's how I'm relying on funding. Now, I don't expect to see any money coming in for this until at least the middle of the year, at least, because I need 4,000 viewing hours. I think we're up to about 3,250 now, something like that. So we're well on our way. What I intend to do as well is to be completely transparent. All the money that comes to YouTube for this particular trip, I will publish that on my website. I'll publish that on YouTube to say, this is how much YouTube have paid me and this is how much I'm paying Brian House. So I am completely transparent. Completely transparent. People say, you're funding this yourself, Ken. Yeah, I am funding it myself because I'm getting something out of it as well. So why should I go for funding off other people when I'm getting something? Yeah, it's nightmares, some of it, but yeah, I am funding it myself. Because I'm getting something out of it myself. So, but people have been asking, can they donate money? Yes, you can if you want to. I will put the Just Giving link in the comments below. Just go and just give as much as you want, even if it's a fiver, even if it's a tenner. It all helps Brian House. It's a fantastic charity. I wish I could do more, but I can't. So at the moment I'm in Vietnam, and then tomorrow I go to Da Nang, and then I go over to Cambodia, and then to Thailand, then to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, Bali, Australia, and then I've done it. But it's all thanks to you people. You people who are watching these videos, you people who are liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing. It all helps. So I can't thank you all enough. Thank you all so, so much for your support. I really, really appreciate it. So onwards, upwards and forwards, and thank you.
Welcome to the showcase. Today we've got a very different show for you, and I've been chatting with a man on his travels from England to Australia, ironically without flying. And this man is from, are you from Blackpool, Ken?
No, I'm actually from Scarborough.
Oh my God, I'm sure everybody knows you then, Ken. Ken Webster, a hypnotist and comedian and very influential in the club and pub scene in the UK. So Ken, just give us a brief history. Tell us a bit about you.
I've been a stage hypnotist now for over 40 years. I hold the world record for the longest running hypnosis show in the same venue, which is 37 years at the Horseshoe Show Bar, Pleasure Beach Resort, Blackpool. So I'm very proud of that. I've been all over the world doing what I do. I'm sort of semi-retired now. I just do Blackpool and the odd private function. I was the first outrageous hypnotist in the country, first person to say the F word on stage, because everybody else had goatee beards and dangling medallions and stuff like that, and I sort of broke the mold, really. And that's probably why I'm still doing it today.
Excellent. Well, Ken, you're a great guy. I mean, I've been following you on your YouTube channel, and it's very important that you do, because Ken's doing for charity walking. Well, not walking.
Walking. Sod off.
Is on not flying from England to Australia. Now, how long do you suggest that that's going to take you, Ken?
Well, I set off on January the 22nd. And now I think it's the 2nd of March, 3rd of March, something like that. So I came all the way through France, Germany, Italy, France, Germany, Budapest, Romania, Hungary, all those places. And then where did I go after that? Georgia to Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan through China, through Vietnam, through Cambodia, through Thailand. Still in Thailand now. Tomorrow I head to Hai Thai or Mai Thai or something along those lines, and then on to Kuala Lumpur, and then from Kuala Lumpur to Singapore over to Indonesia, down to Bali, and then island hop, those little islands to East Timor. And then I've got a shipping company who are quite interested in taking me over there on a cargo ship from East Timor to Darwin. So I'm hoping to sort of be in the Indonesian area in a couple of weeks.
Wow. That's some awesome feat what you're doing, and you must believe that I've seen Ken in some trials and tribulations, in dilemmas, and I don't know many people can do what you do, but you make light-hearted of it. You're funny, man. Why are you doing it, Ken?
I'm doing it to raise money for Brian House in Blackpool, which is a children's hospice, and it's for poorly children that are dying, basically. There's no point in sugarcoating it. The kids that are dying. I did a show in September, raised some money for them. I did the whole show in drag in Blackpool. That was uncomfortable. But we raised a few grand for them, which was brilliant. Basically, Brian House, it cost them around about £1.6 million a year to stay open. And they get just over £200,000 from the British government. It's a hospice. It's for dying children. It's for parents to get a little bit of respite. When I took the bucket truck on, when I did the drag show, There was a little boy there. He must have been about 7. And can only describe it, and I'm not Mickey taking the Stephen Hawkins wheelchair, with all the mod cons and everything on it. And he was being spoon fed, and he's like, oh, poor little lad. What life is he gonna? Well, he's not gonna have a life. What life has he had? And then as I was leaving, there was a little girl coming in. She was skipping. She was quite happy. She had Winnie the Pooh dressing gown on. Clearly, she didn't really know, the full story. And the parents' faces, they were only young parents, the look of anguish and just anxiety and stress on their faces, Every day these people must wake up. The parents, and the kids, obviously, if they understand, but the parents must wake up every morning and thinking, my child's not going to be here So it just breaks my heart. Just awful. So I thought, anyway, cut a long story short, I want to raise some money for them because they don't get enough off the British government. I'm not going to go down that road. And I've done stuff before. I did a 42-mile bike ride, and I hadn't been on a bike since I was about 17. Did the drag thing. But I don't want people coming across as, he's tapping money again. He's tapping money for again. So I'm asking people, don't bother donating. You can donate if you want. There is a Just Giving page there. But I'm trying to do it without asking people for money and without flying. So basically, I started this YouTube channel, It's coming on. I think we've got nearly 2,000 subscribers, which, in the space of, 8 weeks isn't too bad, really, in the grand scheme of things. And so I thought, right, okay, what I'll do is I'll start a YouTube channel and I will film.
Does that mean you're
monetizing it? Yeah. So this is the way I'm trying to raise the money. I think we need 4,000 hours. Well, I think I've done about 3,200. So all I'm asking people to do is to like the videos, to subscribe to my channel. That will then enable me to monetize that channel, and anything that comes out of this series of videos that I've made from coming here to Australia, the money that I get from YouTube goes directly to Brian House. And obviously, I'm not expecting the money to start coming in just yet, Shaun. I start my summer season at Blackpool Easter Sunday. That's when I'll be able to be on stage as well and plug the charity and plug what I've done. Put the QR code on so that they can watch my whole journey, like and subscribe. So I'm hoping the middle of summertime, these will start making some money for Brian House.
That's bloody awesome, Ken. I don't know anybody else that could or be willing to do that. And you're using your own money to do this?
I'm financing it myself, yeah. I'm financing it myself at the moment. If we start making some money, I want £10,000 to go to Brian House, first of all. After that 10,000, then I've got all my receipts and stuff. Right, okay, it cost me £5,500. I'm going to take that out. I'm being totally honest with people, because it's a lot of money to lay out yourself. But saying that, the first 10,000 is going to go straight to Brian, and if not more. It depends. It's a difficult one, Shaun, because I've had a week holiday. Well, I don't want a charity paying for that bit of holiday. Do you know what I mean? So. But I'm totally open and totally transparent with everything, all the money that's coming in.
Well, I'd like to say to the viewers that are watching this, I'm going to put Ken's details of his YouTube up there. And I'd ask you, if you want to have a bit of a laugh watching, you're a bit of a moaning bugger as well, Ken. I like that.
I'm a Yorkshireman. It's... Yeah, I do moan a lot. I do moan a hell of a lot because there's so much to moan about. That's why, especially when...
Well, you keep your bloody hat.
Pardon? Oh, no, I've got a new hat now. My worst one is this laundry, the laundry mess up. I think it was on the last vlog. So basically, I took all my washing down to the laundrette on Friday, Saturday. And they said, yeah, everything will be ready on Monday. I said, right, brilliant, smashing, nice one. Got in a taxi. Went off to do another podcast, which was like 15, 20 miles away from the laundrette. And then I thought, I leave on Monday. I leave Monday morning. What am I going to do now? They don't reopen till Monday afternoon. So I've had to stay up and eat another night on the Monday. I've had to cancel the bus, cancel this, cancel that, and get into a hotel. The trials and tribulations.
And did it take a lot of planning, or did you just sit there one week?
I just worked it out when I got there. I looked at a rough outline of the route I was going to take, but there are that many really. I mean, some of the countries are a bit dodgy, But some of them, like Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Russia, Burma, and Myanmar, the real no-go areas, really no-go. So I've had to literally go sort of up and down, across, back to where I came from, and then over. And it's been really sort of, I sort of get somewhere, like I'll get to Romania, say Romania, I think, right, now I've got to get to Georgia. Sit in the hotel or whatever with my laptop, right, how do I get from A to B? But there is that much misinformation on the internet. It's ridiculous. No wonder we've got so many of these conspiracy theorists, because people go down these rabbit holes, and it's like, right, I want a bus from Tbilisi to Georgia or whatever. Yep, there's a bus sets off. Right, nice one, I'll book it. Sorry, these seats are not available. Oh, right. No, that train's not available now. So then you have to go somewhere else. Then you have to go, and it's and that again, every morning you wake up and you've got decisions to make. I had to book the trip to Kuala Lumpur, but I was going to go to Bangkok. But then I've done these really dodgy sleeper trains, like really, really, really dodgy ones. And the one in Vietnam, I refused to get on it. I'm not getting on that. Yeah, it was bunk beds, three of them there, and I was in the middle on this one for 20 hours with no aircon. I'll get the bus. I've got the bus instead, which was actually quicker than the train. So, but going back to the financing thing, you can do like the Doggy Express. You sit on the seat on the Doggy Express, which is 16 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours, 15 quid. My bus from the hotels that I've been staying in, the cheapest was £7.95. This one's £12.95, I think. They've got a shower, they've got a kettle, they've got a bed. They might not be in the best of areas, but this is clean and it's tidy and there's nothing wrong with it. So I'm really doing it. I'm doing it on a such a shoestring, such a shoe. Yeah. I mean, I got sponsored by AsiaVentura.com. They were fantastic. He's a friend of mine, Tony Pycroft. And they've seen me from Vietnam, all my transport through Vietnam, all my hotels through Vietnam, all my transport through Cambodia, all my hotels to Cambodia, all the way to where I am now. So AsiaVentura.com really got on board and said, it's a great cause that you're doing it, Ken. We will sponsor. And they got me put thing round the temples, around the temple. They paid for all that. Paid for Barnard Hills. They paid for Tonle Sap, the little village. That's fascinating. The little village on the river. So that was all free. That was all given to me by AsiaVentura.com.
Before we get into the details where people can give and on your channel, Ken, what's been the highlight so far?
They're all. I mean, the highlight is every day is a highlight. It really is, because you're getting closer and closer and closer to the destination. So it's like every day to me when you wake up, it's like, I'm a bit closer. I'm a bit closer. But highlight-wise, I mean, Barnard Hills in Vietnam would have been incredible if it wasn't for the weather. So, yeah, I mean, I think Tonle Sap, that was fascinating. Tonle Sap was in Vietnam. That was fascinating. But I'm back on the road tomorrow, so that's the end of my sort of holiday, because I'll be saying bye to Tony. And then I won't be seeing anybody else until I get to Australia, when my friend's meeting me in Australia, because he lives in New Zealand.
Then do you plan to fly back, Ken?
Oh, God, I'm not doing this again. Stop that. Yeah, I'm in talks with Qantas at the moment.
Yeah.
And that is, I'll buy my own ticket, but seeing as I'm doing this for a good cause, will you upgrade me to business class? So I'm going to try it. I'm going to try be really cheeky, really cheeky.
Right. You've been cheeky so far. You've got away with a lot.
I have. Yeah, I have. It's all gift of the gab, isn't it? But I'm having a good time, and I'm having a bad time as well, because sometimes when you put Warwick, which is me, what I've called my rucksack, Warwick Davis on, then you're like, how long am I going to be walking for? Sitting on, like, the bus tomorrow is 12 hours, sets off at 6 and gets in at 6. So then you get to your destination, then you've got to try and find your hotel. Then you've got to make sure that you've got a SIM card for that particular country, otherwise you've got no internet. And you've also got to make sure that you've got the currency for that to pay the little bit. So there's that much when you're changing countries. There's that much to think about. Yeah, I'm proud of myself so far. I will be honest with you.
How do you, Ken? There's people in Scarborough and been out of Scarborough.
Well, it's the same everywhere, isn't it, Sean? You know, there are people that just are quite. My dad was. My dad was 100 when he died, and he never left the UK. Never left. I'm not getting on any aeroplane, not unless I can fly myself. You know. So, but yeah, never set foot out of the country. My dad.
Well, Ken, you're doing a bloody awesome job. And for those people with a heart, well, I think everybody's got a heart nowadays. This children's charity in Blackpool need your support. They do. If you don't want to give money, all I'd ask you to do is go watch Ken's videos, because that's going to build up the watch hours for him to get monetized, for him to be able to. So that's a way of giving if you don't want to give. If there are any companies watching this, I know a lot of people, a lot of businesses, if you feel like you want to support Ken, I'm sure he'd be very grateful. I'll have all his details. It's all official. And, what can we say? We can help these young kids that have sadly got no future. They don't know when the next day is. And help the parents to give them the best life we can. So please, I'll have all Ken's details on this podcast. And watch, and comment on his shows, please, because the comments will help his YouTube also grow and develop more watches too. So that's the most important thing. We wish you luck, Ken.
Thank you.
And we'll have to do another one when you get back and settled in.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to stop, Ken. It's going to be the rest of the year.
Exactly. I hope to see someone, like I said before, I hope to see somebody coming in the middle of September the middle of summer when things have grown and things have got shared and all the rest of it, we're hitting 300 views on videos at the moment, which for a channel that's only been up a couple of months, it's not too bad, really. It's not too bad,
It's fantastic, Ken. Ken, I take my hat off to you. I keep watching your videos. I'm helping as much as I can. I wanted to do this with Ken, not about his hypnotism. We can do that later on in the year. And anybody else that Ken wants to put on here, we can help raise the profile. We will do. I'll talk to him about it. So thank you very much, Ken
You're
Webster.
very welcome.
Right.